Welcome to Please Me, the podcast bringing you bold conversations and big clit energy. Sí, Please Me ahora tiene subtítulos en español. And welcome to my Friday bonus episode series. I'm Eve, your host, on a journey from trauma to sexual liberation. Let's reclaim pleasure and close the orgasm gap, one empowering conversation at a time. On Wednesday, I kicked off a two-part podcast episode with Hani Cheng, an expert in Tantra and Taoist sensuality practices that are sure to spark your curiosity and deepen your mind-body connection. Be sure to catch part 1 for essential insights before diving into today's episode, and enjoy both. Did you know that podcasts rely on listener support to keep bringing you the content you love? For the best way to support the show, join me on Patreon for ad-free listening, early releases, bonus episodes, and exclusive content. See show notes for the link. Got a burning question or want a 10-minute consultation with me? Download the OWL app and give me a call. Check the show notes for my code to get $10 toward your first chat. Please Me is for mature audiences. Sit back, relax, and surrender to the pleasure of Please Me.
My favorite orgasm is an orgasm I haven't experienced before. It's always the novel one that I love the most. So it's about the mystery orgasm. So this is, you don't know where it's going to come from, but you know that the pressure is building. It has an element of full body orgasm.
ASN Lifestyle Magazine is your go-to source for sex-positive, sophisticated content covering everything from the swinger lifestyle and adult entertainment to intimacy, wellness, and more. You can read every digital issue for free, and subscribers get access to exclusive content. See the show notes for the link to subscribe and check out their Instagram. I'm excited to share that I now have a monthly column in ASN called Big Clit Energy, a Please Me series. Don't miss it and subscribe today.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
Grit is in you. It's in your passion, your perseverance. It's in every challenge you face and overcome. Grit is in you. It's never in rockin' protein. Never settle.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Got a car to sell but no time to waste? Hop on to Carvana.com to get a real offer for your car in seconds. All you have to do is enter your license plate, answer a few quick questions, and if you accept the offer, Carvana will pay you as soon as you hand the keys over. They even offer same-day pickup in many cities. Save your time, score some cash, and sell your car the convenient way to Carvana. Pickup times vary. Fees may apply.
Shopping is hard.
I can never find anything in my size.
I don't even know my size.
I buy my clothes the same place I buy my groceries.
There's a better way. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, budget, and done. Your personal stylist sends pieces picked just for you.
That was easy.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone. Free shipping and returns. No subscription required. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
Eve Hall here. Today's podcast episode is part 2 of a powerful 2-part series on Tantra and Taoist sensuality with Hani Cheng. Part 1 dropped on Wednesday, so be sure to listen to that first for the full experience. Now, here's where we left off.
And I want to talk about the upward spiral of pleasure and how we can activate that energy that you talk about in our
Love it. Yeah, for sure. So upward spiral is something that I talk to my clients a lot about. No matter if they're coming to me from a breakup or they're coming to me from a perspective of wanting to have the better sex or exploring sexuality, exploring opening up, or some people are also exploring their careers. I also do leadership coaching and business coaching as well. And so through while being in touch with their whole system in their body and their genitals. And so the upward spiral of pleasure came really about when I did my debriefs. I started my debriefs with the intention of having something after sex that allowed me to tap into the best moments of it and to have a feedback loop. Because I realized that you finish sex and then you just clean it up a little bit and then you just go about your day and do your thing. Or you just go to the bathroom or there's just, like a shift of energy. But I really like that in addition to aftercare, which a lot of people do too sometimes, which is cuddling, I like to have that verbal connection of what just happened, right? Because when we're in our bodies, sometimes we are in a different zone. And then when we're back into our mind and body, then there's like an opportunity to expand pleasure. And while it can also be really good to just reflect upon it, what went well, what didn't go well, I like to also add an additional question of what were your favorite parts? Like, where did you get turned on the most? Or what part of the conversation, physical conversation, did you enjoy the most? And then we got to hear from both people. What frame did you like the most? What was the best 15 seconds? Questions like these, I have a whole actual workbook with that in the module 3, as well as like a bonus of the actual debrief questions. And what it does is that it creates a memory, like you're already recalling a positive memory, which then not only are you getting a positive feedback loop that's going, you're feeling turned on again because you just are reminiscing about a moment that was the most juicy. And where did you feel most loved? What did I say? Did I say something that made you feel like extra special? What did you say or what did you experience that made you feel this and that? And then when you know that, then you're like, oh, remember that time when you said like this and this? And you can start getting these beautiful bookmarks of sensation, which then is like a shortcut into that moment because it reveals that, right? And to me, that creates an upward spiral of pleasure. And when you know what activates your partner, you're creating positive triggers. And when they add up together, instead of downward spiraling into negativity and collapse and chaos and screaming and meltdowns and all the resentment comes up, you can start going upward. And remember this time and remember that time. Oh my gosh. And then that turned me on so much. And so then you're consciously allowing yourself to experience more and more joy, more and more pleasure, and a higher state of arousal, fulfillment, and pleasure. So for us in our community, like an upward spiral of pleasure, upward spiral of positivity. For if you ever follow Abraham Hicks, which I don't anymore, but I used to, it's like a rampage of appreciation, vortices. You're creating a vortex on the levels of consciousness, like gratitude and above. So it's a place of positive feelings all around.
Yes. And this all ties right back to communication, right? You're building on your experience, you're communicating with your partner what you enjoyed and creating those memories, right? So it's not just fleeting in that moment, but you're recreating it in your mind and helping your body to remember that moment in time. And so I love that concept of an upward spiral where you're creating these beautiful spirals with your partner to remember and to get turned on in the future just by remembering, just by thinking about that incredible experience that you had. And so I love this concept. It's very cool. It makes so much sense to me. I want to talk about orgasms because you talk a lot about different types of orgasms. And I often talk about the fact that all of the different types of orgasms light up the same part of your brain, right? Your clitoral area of your brain is lit up when you are having an orgasm of any kind, right? But you talk about a lot of different types of orgasms. What are some of the types of orgasms that you describe?
There's so many. There's like
What are your top 5? What are your top 5?
Because there's like UCB, FGH, HIJK. Like you could go probably the must-do one for every letter by now. My favorite orgasm is an orgasm I haven't experienced before. It's always the novel one that I love the most.
Okay.
So it's about the mystery orgasm. So this is, you don't know where it's going to come from, but you know that the pressure is building. It has an element of full body orgasm because it could ripple through your body because you've already done you've done the massage, you've done the opening up, you've done okay, I've already taken off all my emotional hangups today and we're clear, we're open, both of us. Or solo, right? Which is where we practice our orgasms solo, and there's a lot of misconceptions about not being able to give ourselves the love that another person can give, and that's not true. And anyway, so then the orgasm that is the mystery orgasm is the kind of orgasm that you are following the pleasure. You don't know if it's going to be a clitoral, if it's going to be a G spot, but you're allowing it to expand. And you're feeling it maybe in multiple places that are building at the same time. So you're not zoning in on any one particular one. You're allowing all of them to build at the same time. One might hit, one might not. You don't know what's going to happen. And then, like for me, before I know it, sometimes my breath starts breathing harder, and then I just give into the breath and allow it to sometimes hyperventilate if I want to, or like it could be an orgasm where I'm like holding my neck. And then there's one that just takes every emotion that I have, and it's just whatever is in the moment. There's ones that it just shot through my face, and all these tears came pouring out. So I was in grief in that moment and also pleasure. And that, I would say, was the coolest one ever. And the sound was different. I vocalized as well. And it was a different voice. It was a different sensation. And my hands were so vibrating with so much vibration that it almost curled in. Like I was doing breathwork practice. Every time I facilitate breathwork, I say sometimes we might have the experience of hands curling in, and you just breathe through it. And I've never had that during any of the facilitations. However, in this particular moment, I did. And so I think that it was really powerful because it was an orgasm I never had before, which is purely created from the aspect of you follow the pleasure. You're not trying to chase something. You're not trying to stimulate only the clit or only the G-spot or only one aspect. You're stimulating everything, the body, the mind, the heart, the emotions. Right. And then thirdly, it's like being ready for whatever comes. If it's calling you to vocalize more, go in it. If it's calling you to breathe more, go into that direction. If it's calling you to sweat more, to flail more, or to be quiet and not move, then go for it. It's the awareness of it. And then lastly, it's the one where even if you don't expect it and you don't feel like it is what it is, like just go for it anyway. Because that's where the unexpectedness is going to come through. So my favorite one is the mystery one, and it turned out to be a full body, emotional, but also, was it clitoral or G-spot? It could have been a combination of both, but there's also something else that was being exposed through. So
amazing.
That answers your question.
It does. And I haven't heard of the mystery, quote unquote, mystery orgasm before. But this makes total sense to me because it's something new, right? Something that you've never experienced before.
It's one of those
when you have an experience like that, especially if you've been having sex for many years in your life and you've done it in a certain way many times, and sometimes things can get monotonous, right? But when you have something that's a completely different, novel experience that brings you there, it really is like a beautiful exclamation point on top of everything else. And actually, I just recently had an experience where I was squirting, and I have always said that squirting is not the same thing as orgasm. You can squirt and it feels amazing, but it doesn't actually bring you to orgasm. But I just recently had an experience where if you continue that sensation over time, instead of saying, okay, you're squirting and now it's over, and you stop, instead of stopping, you continue that sensation, it can bring you to orgasm, which I never really realized. And that's something that I actually just learned about my body, and I had never learned about it before. And I was like, wow, this is a whole nother level of that experience that I had never experienced before. And it was amazing. And so the mystery orgasm is the orgasm that I'm going to start wanting to chase. I want novel experiences. I want new orgasms. And how amazing to like really create that for yourself. I love that concept.
It's so much fun, right?
Yeah,
it's so much fun. And it's just like, that's what we live for. We live to surprise ourselves and catch us off guard and be like, oh my gosh, this fun is, I didn't even expect this fun.
Yes,
And it's the one
absolutely.
thing excited. I'm so excited for you. So many people have such a fear of going past that point during squirting. And because some people might have a lot of people who have misconceptions of it, feel so violent before the squirt. Do you want to talk a little bit about that since we're on this topic?
Yeah, I think squirting is a really interesting concept. And I think it's misunderstood a lot because I feel like a lot of partners, when they see that you are squirting, they feel like you just come and it's over. And that's not the case. And that it's not female ejaculation. That's something else, right? And so there's a lot of misconceptions around what squirting is. I think that it's important for people to understand that it's a different type of pleasure and it can build just like an orgasm would. And so I just think it's something that I just wanted to bring up because I was relating to what you were talking about. But I do want to ask you one more question because then I want to get into our role play. And I wanted to talk about the vagina reflexology that you created. And I find reflexology to be really interesting. I love a good foot massage. It's like my favorite thing. And it just puts my whole entire body at ease and at relaxation. And I would love to know how you map the vagina in terms of reflexology. Tell me a bit about that.
So beautiful. This is one of my favorite topics that I discuss with my clients. And my first assignment is always daily pleasure practice, even if it's a minute, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, just give me something daily. Okay.
Okay.
And
I think that's great.
and because that's the only way you're going to learn more about yourself. If you talk to yourself every day, who do you talk to when you love? How often do you talk to the people that you love so much? Quite often. And so that's how you would want to talk to her or him. And vagina, many different parts. We could go into high detail, but the ones that I want to share with you today is a couple of just points that you can understand what part of them relate to what part of your organs as well as energetic qualities. So this comes from the Taoism and the Chinese medicine perspective that each part of our body is linked to meridian lines, which is then linked to certain organs that you can add energy towards or even process energy so that everything is connected because it is connected anyway. And so this is just the energetic connection of all. And then I can talk a little bit about mapping it, not only just mapping it, but then installing things into certain parts of your vagina if we have time. The vaginal zones, there's many different zones, but I'll talk about the entrance, the mid canal, the deep canal, and the cervix.
Okay.
So the entrance, the vaginal lips, right? So the vaginal lips is known to be connected with the spleen and the pancreas as an organ system. And in the spleen and the pancreas in Chinese medicine, it stores worry, so doubt, concern. And so when you're really massaging that area, you're really also processing those experiences. You can really connect to that organ and to detension, or it's not detoxification from a chemical perspective, but it's really detoxifying from a perspective of like mindful breath work.
Like emotional.
Emotional, correct. Worry. Energetic quality is receiving nourishment. You're really receiving the nourishment through the outer entrance, and then it's also grounding. The mid canal is connected to the liver, which is known to be the place where the anger chi goes to. So if you're a very angry person, you have a weaker liver. And so in the mid canal, you can really also massage out and connect to your anger and allow that to relax as well. And it's about releasing the control and allowing flow. So that's really the mid canal area. You can focus on that. Gives you a little bit of a bookmark to what to connect to when you're massaging with your jade egg or your wand or your tool, or you're massaging your partner with your fingers. You can be like, hey, this is a moment that you get to release that. And the deeper canal is connected to the heart, joy, and intimacy. So it's like before the cervix, the deeper side. And it's about opening to love, to trust, to orgasm. It's really, now you're entering a place of like when you're really feeling that you're not clamping, like the opposite of clamping. You're like blooming. That's the feeling. And then the cervix is about kidneys. So fear and wisdom exist there. Really the root of the life force, surrender, and transcendental experiences. Speaking about the cervical orgasms are one of my favorites as well, referring back to our previous topic. And it is so transcendental. In Tantra, we talk a lot about transcendental sex that creates spiritual connections and you feel union on a higher plane, which is what we experience during plant medicine journeys, ayahuasca, boga. You're like really getting to a space of that fullness and connection with all. And oftentimes when you're in that deep, when you're in the place of wisdom and you're in that place of the root of your life force and that full surrender, and you're really intending that, that's also the place that you do sex magic. That's the place that you really open up your heart. You open up all the channels of yourself and you can really circulate that energy as well. So this is a little bit using the understanding of these different portions of your vagina and going through that. And there's a lot more to it, but
yes,
these are just a little tidbits for you.
Yes, a few tidbits of the vaginal canal, which I think is an amazing place to start and to explain. Did you actually create like a map of the vagina, the vulva, the clitoris, all of that? Do you have a diagram? I would love to see that if you have it. If not, that's fine, but just curious.
I do have a diagram, but it's not, the labels are a little bit not my favorite. It's not perfected yet.
Gotcha. Definitely be following your journey on creating this reflexology of the vagina, because I think this is fascinating. And so I want to make sure that we don't skip anything here. And I think that one of the most fun parts of this show is the role play. So I want to jump into our role play now because we are running way out of time. But we decided that for the role play, we were going to pretend that I was a coaching client of yours and you were going to be coaching me because I fake orgasm and I want to stop doing that. And when we talk about that, the statistic is that 80% of women have faked orgasm in their lifetime. And I have to say that I am one of those women. In the past, I had done that many times in my like ancient history, right? Like a long time ago, but I do remember doing that. And it's really something that you really don't want to do. You're training your partner to do the things that you don't want them to do. And so communication is so important. So we're going to jump into that role play next. Okay. Are you ready?
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
This is my college campus.
Correct, but I see you're on IKEA.com ordering some college items.
My daughter's room is pretty bare. We need a lamp, some comfy pillows, her favorite stuffy.
Dad!
With pickup options, we've got what you need to conveniently order IKEA. Literally anywhere.
Sweet. More time for gaming.
And studying. Wait, where are you going now?
Have to show the ultimate Frisbee team how easy it is to order from IKEA. Get IKEA whenever, wherever, however you want. Choose from thousands of pickup locations, affordable delivery options, and more.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. Let's get real close to hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Maximized. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Dealing with hidradenitis suppurativa, HS, is tough. But you're not alone. Before I started Cosentix, I looked at the website and saw it had many years of clinical research. That made me feel confident.
Cosentix secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe hidradenitis suppurativa, HS. Don't use if allergic to Cosentix. Get checked for TB before starting. Increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like TB or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTIX or Cosentix.com.
Don't wait. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentix.
Honey Bunches of Oats es la forma perfecta de empezar el día con tu familia. Con hojuelas crujientes y miel de verdad que a los niños les encanta. Además, deliciosos trozos de granola, nueces y fruta que todos van a disfrutar. Honey Bunches of Oats es para todos. Toca el banner para saber más.
Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. And action. Hani, I am so happy that you're going to be helping me with this issue that I've been having, because I have to say that when I am having sex or experiencing any kind of sensual pleasure, I tend to want to get it over with. And so sometimes if it's like going on too long and I'm bored or not into it, I will fake it. And I know that is just not a good thing to do. I just don't know what else I should do. And so I would love to talk to you about that.
I love it. Awesome. I feel like that's such a beautiful place to come from. And
point is, I want to come and not fake it.
That's what I'm thinking. And I guess my first question for you is, how is your orgasm when you're self-pleasuring?
I can orgasm on my own when I masturbate. It's great. Sometimes I can have multiple orgasms when I'm self-pleasuring. And so I don't know why I can't get there with my partner.
Gotcha. This is such a fun topic because it's such a beautiful opportunity for him to also participate with you in exploring the... It's so funny because I'm thinking like we can obviously go through like, why is it that he is not the person, or why is it that he can't get you there? Or we can explore from a perspective of what possibility with him in that space can you and him create a new space of orgasm, because you have your multiple orgasms, you've gotten good orgasms on your own, and then with him there's like these fake orgasms. But what if you guys were both going to be able to create a space of intentional pleasure with no orgasm as the end goal? The intentional pleasure portion could simply be, let's just me and you work together and find where my most pleasurable moment in this moment is. So we take away the goal of orgasm and then we focus on, this is what I really like, and take that expectation out of the picture too. And this is how I get myself to multiple. Take that expectation too. And then it's just a interaction between his fingers and his hands in your vagina, and you can have as long as you want. Let's say an hour on the timer, and just be like, we're here purely to just explore. I feel like when we take away the pressure, it could be something super, super easy and to start with. But before we go into that, I'm just curious, like, how does that even sound? What do you think? Do you think that would be something
I would be willing to do that? I just feel like we just don't have the greatest communication. So I don't even know how I would even ask him to participate with me in that respect, because I feel like we're shut down in terms of the communication. And that sounds like a great idea, but I almost feel like he needs to be here with me talking to you so that we can build together, because I don't have the words to be able to express those things with him.
Definitely. We could definitely get him on call too. He can definitely participate too. And at the same time, we also have a really easy... Do you feel like shy talking to him about it, or do you need more like a structure to talk to him about it?
I think it's just that I haven't.
Okay,
and
cool.
So it's like now out of the blue, suddenly bringing this stuff up out of the blue just seems like, where is this coming from? And of course, if I'm faking it, he thinks I've been enjoying it for however long, years, right? And so now it's like admitting that. I think there's some like shame around that. And also just like a fear of telling him and seeing what his reaction is going to be, because I've been lying to him for so long, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want him to really like fully understand me and like my body and like how I've been processing our pleasure and lack thereof. And I want us to have a better intimate connection.
I think whatever you said was beautiful. Like I feel like it's so authentic, so from the heart, and your intention is pure. It's in service of the relationship. So it's in service of how can he love you more and contribute to your pleasure more. And I'm sure that's what you want to do for him too. And so as you're bringing and starting to open this conversation, start there. I love you so much. And I feel so devoted to wanting to improve our sensual and sexual experiences. And I notice that you can share if you feel comfortable sharing the truth, and you don't need to do it at that moment if it doesn't feel like it's necessary to express that. Shame, of course, comes in, and you know that it's like a shyness and fear and discomfort all mixed together. And you can acknowledge, right? I feel a little bit shameful for sharing this if you're going to go there. And the truth is, my orgasm hasn't always been authentic, and I would like to have more authentic orgasms. And I have an idea of how we could actually create this together. Would you partner me in co-creating an experience that, and support me in creating an experience that could be very pleasurable for me? And this is what I propose. And I'm happy to hear any feedback or any suggestions as well. So it's a question of, hey, would you like to partner me on this adventure of exploring my vagina with me and my orgasm with me in the context of our co-created space? So you're really inviting him to participate. And he can always say whatever he wants to say, because you're going to do this with yourself anyway. And you're going to imagine and train your body to also be comfortable exploring new ways of orgasming. How does that feel and land?
That sounds really great. I love the words that you used. I feel like the way that you explained it would be less painful to hear, saying that my orgasms haven't always been authentic instead of saying I've been faking it for so long. I just feel like it's a different way of saying the same thing that may be received better. So I love everything that you said. And I feel like with those words, I can begin this conversation. And if I wanted to bring him into a session with us, would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. We ask him like what he desires as well and how he wants to show up for you, and or maybe he has other desires that he wants to explore too. So I feel like the key, absolutely okay, and the key component here is win-win. Like we want everyone to win here. And
yeah.
And winning is really the game, right? Everyone wants to make their woman and their man happy, or the woman and woman, or whatever configuration happy, right? Everyone wants everyone to be happy. And how can we love each other more is the key, the crux that's holding it all together. Orgasm is love and its full potential.
Absolutely.
One of the loves. Yes.
Yes. And I do love him, and I want us to create an even more amazing sex life together. So I appreciate that. And I will be talking to him and bringing him to our next session, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to meet him.
Awesome.
Oh, what a beautiful possibility that you're creating for both of you. Thank you for being so brave and so open to receive.
Thank you. And scene.
Roll.
Yes, that was fun. That was fun. And I think it's a great example of communication, and the way that you worded things can be taken and used on your own. So listeners out there, if she said something to me, she said several sentences that to me, I could literally word for word use to communicate with my partner in a more authentic way. This is just all about modeling conversations so that people can understand that over time, it gets easier. The first conversations are always a little tricky and uncomfortable, but it does get easier. And so modeling these conversations is so essential so that people can see how they actually look. So thank you for going on that role play journey with me. It's always so much fun. And I want to make sure that my listeners can find you. Where can we find you?
https://tantrasingapore.com. You can definitely find me there and you can read all about it. I have a YouTube channel and I also have lots and lots of other stuff. In Tantra Singapore, you'll see an intimacy coaching tab. And then from there, you'll get the whole intimacy coaching 4-part Sensual Liberation Playbook journey. And you can start getting on my list through that. Don't be scared if there's a lot of emails from there. We're trying to be concise, but there's a lot to share. So you can ignore them, but then pick the ones that are resonance to you the most. And yeah, start this journey wherever you are in your life. Continue or grow it more. It's such a fun thing to put your attention on.
And I want to just shout out Singapore because you are coming to me from Singapore, which is amazing. And I am trying to grow my audience all over the world. So hello, Singapore today. And I've got one of your most amazing ladies here from your country. And so it's so exciting to have you here today. And I want to make sure that my listeners can also find me. You can find me on pleaseme.online. Make sure that if you listen to this interview and you think that it's something that you know someone that would really benefit from hearing from this show, please share it with them right away. Copy and paste and shoot them a message and share it with them. Please also leave reviews if you've heard the show. That is how podcasts grow. If you want to meet with me, you can certainly call me on the OWL app if you're in the US. I can do a free 15-minute consultation with you. And you can use my OWL code EH576472 to get some credits so that you can call me for free on the OWL app. And I would love to have a conversation with you and do a consultation if that's something you're interested in. And of course, you can always work with me as a health coach, an intimacy coach, or as a physical therapist. So please reach out to me on pleaseme.online. And with all that being said, I just want to thank you again, Hani, for being on the show. This has been such a really fun, enlightening conversation today.
It's my huge pleasure, and I can't wait to speak to all of you, some of you in the future.
Yes, it has been a pleasure, hasn't it? Until next time.
Until next time, darlings.
For ad-free listening, exclusive bonus episodes, Eve's library of archived webinars, and early access to new releases of Please Me, become a monthly supporter on Patreon. Simply open the Patreon app on your phone, search for Please Me, and subscribe today for premium content and more. Cheers to finding your pleasure and big lit energy.